In a society where a virus has killed all men, a group of women discover something that changes what they know about the world. However, this puts them at risk since those in power will do what it takes to stay in control. In a matter of weeks, a virus eliminates all men on Earth. 8 years later, Lane leads one of the surviving all-female communities called the Wellness Organization. When one girl cries on stage, Alex shouts to her that their world is just getting worse. Her sister-in-law Jamie and her friend Pip scold her, but Alex steals the smoothie from the former's hands and continues mocking the organization. A pregnant Lane soon takes the stage and recalls how, despite the virus eliminating all men, they reconstructed a society where education, healthcare, and leaves for their monthly cycles are available for everyone. As the woman inspires the others with the seed that they've received from fertility banks, Alex continues making snarky remarks. Embarrassed, Jamie and Pip try to pull her away, but Alex retaliates by throwing the smoothie at Lane. Because of this, Officer Constance drags the woman into the station. Alex remains defiant, so Constance pins the woman to the wall, but this leads to them getting intimate. During this, Lane announces the winter repopulation draw, where women will be chosen to receive seeds. Jamie prays to be selected, and to her delight, she wins the lottery. Elsewhere, Constance and Alex rest together after their passionate time. The officer wonders if they can go away together, but her partner dodges the question, angering her. Suddenly, someone knocks on the door, so Constance hurries to get dressed. While she does, Alex challenges her to shoot her or make their relationship known. When Constance argues that she can't do the latter, the woman berates her for dreaming about going away together as if their lives are normal. To keep her reputation, Constance has no choice but to shoot the woman in the neck, embedding a bliss ball into Alex. Later, Pip helps out on Jamie's farm when Constance arrives with a dazed Alex. The bliss ball releases medicine into the woman to keep her docile, and since this isn't her first offense, Constance asserts that Alex will remain in bliss for 5 days. With no choice, Pip and Jamie strap the woman to her bed. Pip comments that they'd be better off without her, but the woman's sister-in-law criticizes her for saying such things. The following day, Jamie goes to the clinic where Dr. Harvey learns that she had a baby 9 years ago. This makes Jamie think of her son, whom she lost to the virus. The moment is further dampened when the doctor reminds her that if her child ends up being male, her pregnancy won't reach full term. The next day, Alex wakes up alone and finds a note with instructions, seemingly from herself. Meanwhile, Pip goes to work at the wellness committee and prepares food for a meeting. However, she accidentally drops some of the snacks, and as she picks them up from under the table, Lane and Dr. Harvey walk in. They talk about Lane not wanting to compromise for an abundant future but stop when they notice that Pip is there. Because of this, Lane dismisses the doctor and hints to Pip that she can trust her to do the right thing and keep secrets. At their house, Alex finds a tank with a note instructing her to breathe its contents. When she does, she instantly feels a surge of euphoria, then proceeds to the bathroom where she sees instructions on how to remove the bliss ball. Elsewhere, Jamie goes to a private club to find satisfaction, as per her doctor's instructions. She uses Bernice's services but begs her to dress up like her husband. Bernice hesitates since latching on to their desires and memories for men is considered taboo. However, she relents when Jamie pleads. Seeing her in her husband's jacket and hat, Jamie imagines her as Jackson, allowing her to proceed with their activities. When Jamie returns home, she and Pip realize that neither of them was with Alex. They go to check on her and discover that the woman is missing while there's blood all over the bathroom. Unbeknownst to them, a recovered Alex visits her mother Tilda in the elderly's home. Alex has removed the bliss ball from her neck, but she grieves how her mother had her brain permed, a surgical way to keep them docile permanently. Angered by the injustice, the woman smears her blood over Lane's posters on her way out. Meanwhile, Jamie worriedly searches for her sister-in-law, though Pip doesn't share the same concern. This angers the other woman, so she points out that Pip's hope of getting promoted in the committee won't happen if Alex dies under her care. This convinces Pip to find their friend, but as soon as they drive away, they immediately run over something. Horrified, the two check outside and are shocked to find a person on the ground. Thinking it's Alex, Pip starts plotting a story to absolve them from the crime. Just then, Alex appears, revealing that she's not the person they hit. With the others scared, the defiant woman checks who their victim is, only to find the first man they've seen in years. Refusing to believe that it's a man, Pip attempts to rip off his beard, thinking it's fake. However, this wakes the man, and the scared Pip knocks him out. The ladies are forced to carry the man into their shed. Alex asserts that they need to mend his wound to prevent him from bleeding out, but Jamie freezes, seeing her deceased husband in the man. Pip insists that they need to report this, but Alex refuses, knowing that the committee will just make the man disappear and perm them to keep them quiet. Just then, Jamie discovers that the man's wound is worse than they thought, so she tells the others to help him first. However, Pip passes out at the sight of blood. In the morning, Jamie wakes up to find Michelle from the wellness committee arriving for her inspection. Pip uses this chance to report what they discovered, but Jamie begs her not to report the man, insisting that it could postpone her opportunity to get pregnant. This makes Pip hesitate, so when Michelle finds them, she just plays along. During the interview, Michelle questions them about Alex, but the women become nervous and give contradicting statements. This makes Michelle wonder if they have trouble watching over people who need supervision, like children. Meanwhile, at the shed, Alex looks into the man's bag and finds his gym membership card, identifying him as Bobby. To her surprise, she also discovers a newspaper clipping with an article about Tilda's career as a biochemist. Before she can read it further, she finds Bobby getting up. Alex's scream is heard from the house, but Jamie dismisses it as the sound of a cow to avoid Michelle's suspicions. However, Michelle insists on checking the cows with them to ensure their facility is safe. At the barn, Bobby prepares to leave, so Alex tries to stop him just as the others approach. The two get into a struggle, with Bobby pinning the woman down. As Alex fights to reach a nearby cow prod, Jamie desperately tries to delay Michelle from reaching the barn. Luckily, when they open the door, they only find Alex pretending to still be under the bliss. Convinced that she was making the ruckus alone, Michelle compliments the other two for handling the troublesome woman. With the other two proceeding with their day's work, Alex is left to watch over a bound Bobby. She questions him about the article about her mother, and when he refuses to talk, she threatens to use the cow prod again. Bobby claims he'll only talk to Tilda, so Alex asserts that he can't. Meanwhile, Jamie goes to the clinic only to receive bad news. She soon calls Pip, tearfully sharing that she was rejected from the repopulation program. This confuses her friend, given that Michelle seemed to have left their home on a positive note earlier. Later, Pip approaches Lane, hoping that she can help Jamie proceed with the reproduction program. She implies that Michelle might have filed Jamie's documents wrong, hence why she was rejected. When this doesn't work, Pip reminds her about what she heard between Lane and Dr. Harvey, adding that Jamie is a good candidate for creating the abundant future that she mentioned. With this, Lane promises to look into her friend's file. At the barn, Alex threatens to put the bliss ball on Bobby if he doesn't talk. However, she hallucinates her mother begging for mercy, so the tearful woman smashes the bliss ball instead, refusing to let anyone go through the same thing. Finding common ground, Alex releases Bobby and tells him that she's Tilda's daughter. She recounts that the community drilled through her mother's brain 4 years ago to give her permanent bliss, claiming that she was delusional about seeing male survivors. This frustrates Bobby, saying that Tilda was the key, though he doesn't know what exactly for. He then assures the woman that her mother was right. There are male survivors, and they're being hunted. Meanwhile, Jamie approaches Dr. Harvey, wondering if she was the one who rejected her for the program. The doctor claims that she didn't, though she notices something changed in her files. At the same time, Lane tells Pip that she looked into Jamie's file and claims that she was never eligible for the repopulation lottery in the first place. Because of this, she permanently removes Jamie's name from the lottery. With her hopes shattered, Jamie later takes her frustrations out in the kitchen, only to be interrupted by a smiling Alex. The woman announces that Bobby is the key to bringing Lane and the wellness organization down. As she leaves, Jamie suddenly gets an idea. She visits Bobby in the barn, asking if she can get some of his seed. The troubled woman gives him a mug and starts dancing to get him started. When this doesn't work, she attempts to show herself to him, but Pip arrives and takes her friend away. Pip comforts her friend outside, but Jamie mourns that she can never be a mother again. She compares herself to cows they butcher when they can no longer provide an offspring. Pitying her, Pip tells her to wait in the house while she deals with Bobby. Soon, she arrives with a mug with Bobby's seed, giving Jamie hope that she can finally get pregnant again. During this, Alex creates an evidence board to organize the information she has so far. Unbeknownst to them, a hunter is on her way to their barn, having received reports that Bobby was spotted in the area. The next day, while Jamie and Alex tend to the cows, Pip quietly rushes to the barn to demand more of Bobby's seed. In exchange, the man asks her to release him, but the woman thinks he'll kill them if she does. As the two argue, Alex overhears and checks on them. However, when they point blame at each other, she loses interest and leaves. Ultimately, Pip promises to let Bobby shower if he gives them more. Later that day, Jamie sells milk at the local store when the owner, Viv, starts giving lollipops to a kid. Seeing this, the mother scolds her daughter and takes her away. Viv grieves as she was recently rejected from the repopulation program like Jamie. Because of this, Jamie later rants about how the committee shouldn't get to decide who can't have kids. Hearing this excites Alex as her sister-in-law is finally questioning their system. Meanwhile, Pip uses a cow prod to guide Bobby into their bathroom. However, she refuses to leave or untie him while he showers. So the man does his business while Pip watches with curiosity. When Alex and Jamie return, Pip discreetly gives the latter the new batch of seed, insisting that she uses it quickly. Later, Alex tempts Bobby with beer and food to get him to talk. However, they both end up getting drunk while the woman rambles on about how Lane and her committee are controlling everyone. Bobby points out that they're doing the same thing to him, arguing that if they're friends now, she should trust him. To gain his trust, Alex cuts his binds. This allows Bobby to prepare to leave again, but he assures her that he'll return after getting some fresh air. As soon as he can, however, he limps away but doesn't get far before he trips and hurts his already wounded leg. This forces him to return to the barn, though Alex figures that he tried to run away. Holding him at knife point, she asserts that he's proof that her mother was right, therefore she can't lose him. Realizing what she really wants from him, Bobby decides to trust Alex. He shows her a hidden SIM card from his belongings. He recounts that his friend, Thomas, told him that it'll lead him to a place where male survivors are. However, Thomas was captured, and he couldn't find the place alone, so he begs Alex to help him. Meanwhile, Jamie hesitates using Bobby's seed when she recalls Viv's struggles. Deciding that she can't keep the opportunity to herself, she takes the seed and leaves it outside the store. In the morning, Pip goes to the barn to give Bobby a new set of clothes but pauses to admire him. When he wakes up, she quickly leaves, but Jamie spots her, making her think that her friend is interested in the man. Pip insists that she isn't, though as she describes the man, her words betray her. As if to convince herself, Pip returns to Bobby, declaring that she feels nothing for him. However, when he approaches her, she becomes frozen with interest again. Luckily, Alex returns and gives Bobby an old cell phone to use the SIM card. The frustrated Pip just reminds them that there are no available networks anymore before storming off. Despite this, the two check the phone for messages and see one from an unknown number, saying, "Rise." Meanwhile, Pip rides her bicycle to work while criticizing herself for taking an interest in a man, reminding her of the new values the wellness committee has taught them. However, when she arrives at work, she finds Constance and Lane putting a bliss ball into Viv. Scared, she immediately calls the others to warn them that wellness might know about Bobby already. Pip quickly rushes back to the farm but finds that Constance and the other officers are arriving. Luckily, the others have hidden, so Pip scolds Jamie, figuring that she gave Viv the seeds which led the committee to them since she stored them in equipment they use for cows. Learning about their plan for the first time, Alex criticizes all of them, pointing out that if Jamie had gotten pregnant, they would have been discovered anyway. Because of what they did, they can't return to the farm, which was apparently owned by Jackson, her brother. She still blames her sister-in-law for calling the quarantine officers on her brother, and now they're about to lose his farm too. Jamie defends that their son died and Jackson was already sick, asserting that she lost her whole life that day. The tension breaks when Alex's cell phone starts ringing, much to their surprise. Bobby answers it, and another man's voice gives him directions to the supposed safe zone, unaware that the hunter has tapped into their signal. This confirms to them that there are more male survivors. With no choice, the women join Bobby on the journey to find the last surviving men in the world.
Subscribe to watch more videos like this, turn on notifications and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.